Hey you, yeah you, I'm talking to you. Are you not confident? Are you a little nervous? Do you get shaky hands in game? Well, this guide will help you get a little bit of that, jazz in your fingers. Now you hear me? Don't be scared, come right in. Don't get a little nervous, it's just me. Best Viper man you ever see. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of banging. But anyways, this is the guide. This is the official aggressive Viper guide and, in general, Viper guide. Not just aggressive. I know you guys have been waiting for this for a long time. I'm finally dropping it. I'm very excited. This is gonna be one huge video. I know people probably wanted, separate maps, but instead I just wanted to drop one big guide for you guys. I hope you guys are ready for this. We're gonna get right into this. There's sections. There's gonna be timestamps on every single map. Maps to go from best to worst. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. I love you guys. Peace. Like I said, you're going to get confidence. You're going to get your guys' rank up. I expect, after this guide, I expect you guys to go from, if you're in gold, I want to see plat or higher. If you're in iron, I want to at least see gold or higher. Same with silver, gold or higher. Everyone is increasing. If you're an immortal, increase. Keep going. We're going to get radiant together. Okay? I love you guys. Hey, I know you're enjoying the video right now, but don't forget to drop a sub and a like. Have a good day! Just a heads up, I couldn't fit everything I wanted to put in this video because the video is already 23 minutes long. So if you guys want to see another video, if it's like depending on the map, I will show extra like retakes and things maybe at the end of the video or the beginning. Retakes, molly lineups, orb lineups, things that you guys can use if you want that I found actually trying to go for the guide, like trying to do it for the guide. I know I didn't get to use all of them, so I want to use them for a video for you guys so you guys can learn more. But let me know if you guys do. And yeah, get to the video. I'm sorry. Enjoy. Before you even want to be an aggressive player, you're going to want to build your aim. You're going to want to know how to, control your mouse, have good aim control, good crosshair placement. Things like that, right? I could show you some things that I do to build my aim. A lot of my aim came kind of naturally. Actually, I didn't do any aim trainer before Valorant, but Aim Labs is my first one. So what I do before I get on, the one I mainly do is this one, is grid shot, multi-shot, and I'll do switch tracking. I won't go too in depth. Don't just do aim trainers and then go straight into competitive or go into DMs as well. Practice in DM, even go into the range. You guys can do the little range modes that you guys can do. Those help a lot. Builds crosshair placement, builds a lot of things, by the way. Get a good feel of the guns, get a good feel for your own sense. I do aim labs mainly not fully to build my aim, more so for mouse control and reaction time. That's mainly what I do aim labs for. Like I said, you guys can use this. You're not obligated to use aim labs, but I do suggest it. It's free. You could try it. If you don't like it, you don't gotta do it. You know what I mean? Before we get into the guide fully, I do want to talk about this. I know people ask me all the time what goes through my head on why I do certain things. First thing I'll say, confidence. That's number one. Two, genuinely, have your sense. Find your sense. Make sure you're comfortable with your mouse, your aim, everything like that. That's where the aim training comes through if you want to do that, but make sure you're at least DMing before you get on. Warm up all times. I don't care what anyone says. Doesn't matter. If you feel like you're warmed up, get in the range, get on DMs, whatever it is that gets your shot on, play those, please. You'll increase in your rank and you'll increase in your confidence 10 times more. What is it? 3, outplays. Viper is big on outplays. If you know how to outplay your enemies, you're gonna end up ranking up higher and higher, and you're gonna end up increasing your skill of Viper or in general with any character. You can also, let's say for instance, a team takes control of shower a lot. Throw an orb here. It's a scuffed orb, but you know what I mean. You can go right here and throw it, and it should land here. After that, you can take control. You can push outside of the smoke into outside shower. Same way here. Throw a smoke here, and you can take control of short. Be aggressive. You could do the little sneaky plays where the smoke is up. This is risky. I wouldn't suggest this a lot because if you don't have a good reaction time or you don't have good enough information that they're all here, it will cuck you. But you have to just be really ready to start just shooting and letting off. I would always suggest having a Phantom, by the way. If you like a Vandal more, you can do it. But if you have a Phantom, you can just boom. They'll never know. They don't know. They'll only know by audio. For all they know, you could be here shooting, They won't see the tracers, no bullets. Only thing they'll know is they're getting hit or there's bullets whizzing past them. That's all you'll know in this with the Phantom. Phantom is the best thing to use for any control character. So if you're an Omen main, Brim main, or that's your secondaries, make sure you're not being predictable. It's just like opping. If you're a good opper, you position yourself to constantly outplay your enemies, right? Don't keep, let's say for instance, you keep smoking this and trying to take control of that. They're going to expect this. Anytime this is smoked out, a team is going to clear this. If they know what they're doing, they're going to clear this 9 times out of 10. If they don't, that's a problem. Then you can abuse that. If they're not going to clear it, abuse it, take control of it, whatever it may be, right? A lot of these tips as well, you can use on any map. Like I'm just using Bayern for example, because this is her best map in my opinion. Viper is very based around your brain. You can't just go and just do all this aggressive stuff without a lot of thought. Pretty much that's how I go about being an aggressive Viper. Using Viper as an aggressive player, it's a lot of big brain plays and a lot of outplay mechanics you want to go for. And you have to just have that confidence, and you can't be a wussy. You have to be confident. FPS games, that's just how it is. The moment you lose confidence is the moment you lose in general. So make sure you're confident and take the fights you can. I hope this guide helps you guys. I worked my ass off on this guide. Learned even new things that I didn't use before. I'm glad I got to do this. I know you guys have been waiting for a long time for this guide. By the time this is up, I am probably going to be sleeping because I'm going to be exhausted. I'm going to be editing this. I've been editing this and working on it all the past 2 days. I'm very exhausted. Little to no sleep. So, like I said, I hope you guys love it. I'll have like little segments. You guys will have the timestamps for it. Hopefully I don't mess up and forget any timestamps. So you'll be able to get all that ready. And yeah, love you guys. Peace. You're going to want to put your crosshair over the middle section. The reason being is because, well, one, you get a one-way, but it also leaves it on the edge. You'll be able to pick it up off the box. You do it that way, it's a lot better and a lot cleaner. And it's a lot deeper for the one-way. After that, you can also throw a wall for shower. And that's what I usually do. For the second setup, you lodge yourself in a little corner before, like when the wall's up still. You throw it at that second arch, you aim right at that corner, and it's a perfect one-way for you. It's a very simple one. It's probably the easiest one in the whole game. After that, you throw a wall there. You could throw it for, I didn't mean to throw it for hookah, but you can. If your teammates like that, then you could do it that way. If not, move it over to the left a little bit, and it will end up blocking off short for you and just short. So that's the second A setup that I use. This one way, I mean, you could do it. Personally, I don't think it's the best and most reliable one. You just gotta look straight up, go a little bit under that little thing, and then you just go straight up and do a little right-click toss. Okay, and then you can do that. So make sure the wall goes across long and hookah. You want to go in a little bit edge, like a little cubby of long, and then you launch it from there and then across hookah, and it completely blocks both those angles off. Especially, I do it closer to hookah window because it forces them out. So they either have to hop out or they have to wait for the wall to go down, which is a good amount of time. That's like the only setup I can possibly see being good. Or you can also put your orb in hookah window and then put your wall across long or vice versa. So that's up to you guys on that. It's choiceful. And yeah, so there's that. All right, you guys have seen this execute on A already. You line up right here. It's right at, you know, that little entrance of short or A heaven smoke. You're aim at that top part, and then you jump throw, and then you can throw your wall up, and this is A Execute. Pretty much gives you that whole access. This is the bind execute. You put yourself in the corner. You just have to watch out for hookah, but you aim for that little left side of like that little thing. I don't know what that is, but you jump throw, and then you set your wall, like at least just to block CT off. Beware, you have to watch out for if they're in that cubby area, then you have to make sure you get it perfectly for CT. I threw it a little bit too far, but you could just molly that little area. This is for another execute you could do. You could smoke off CT, and between those two lines of right click and left clicking, there's that little archway right at the little edging of it. You just jump throw, like you line it up with that, and then you jump throw it. That blocks CT off, and you could throw this wall. This is obviously situational because this is going to be a longer time to get the execute down, but you probably have another smoke, so he'll just smoke off well for you guys. Especially if you want to get that, you want to put it a little bit deeper, because they can be having that cubby here long. Okay, for bind A short, this is an orb retake. You edge that corner with the corner. I'll make sure it's zoomed in. And when you throw it, this smokes off short. This is probably the best retake orb you could possibly do. This wall right here, completely kind of situational, because it kind of messes up U-Haul control. I don't know if you want to use it too much. but it does take care of short for you. So if you are by yourself, you can do this. Beware that they could be lamps. This is another wall. This one is pure situational. This one, I'm not sure if you'd want to do. Just beware when you do this wall that if your teammates are retaking, it completely screws like U-haul retake. So just beware of that. Other than that, it's a decent wall. If you are by yourself, again, it's perfect. It completely blocks off short. Majority of bind a retake. And there's also this orb. This orb is decent. This is situational. This is up to you. If you know that they're planning there, you want to line that little top arrow of the left click on your orb, and then you just throw it. You don't gotta jump, and it's there. It actually goes inside of showers as well, but it's not the best. So situational. So for orb, I just throw it. I run and throw personally. You just want to line it up over like that little edging, and just toss it. It's the best one. I tried lineups and there was no perfect one. For the wall, just make sure you can at least get it covering hookah vision and for long. It's pretty, you know, I'll zoom in on the lineup. Bind, B Molly retake. This I'm actually, you guys know I don't use my mollies much, but I will be using them for this specifically. So for this, you just want to line up. I'll zoom in obviously. So the little molly lineup, there's the little arrows on them. You want to line it up with that white dot and then that black spot. And what happens is when you use these molly lineups, it literally will complete deny a team from planting on B. And then they have to plant in that middle area. But it literally, one, damages them, denies them for a good amount of time. And so yeah. Alright, that's bind for you guys. We'll go on to the next map, which is split. And see you there. Alright, we are on split. Split's very simple. Okay. First we're gonna do little executes I do from mid to A, and then we'll go to mid to B after. You go to this little corner. You can do this off spawn. This is a smoke for vents. So you aim at this little. You go to this little corner. Aim for that top sign, that little bottom corner of that sign on top. And you just jump throw. Very simple. You'll see right here. It lands vents. Obviously, don't pick your orb up unless you can. And then you throw a wall that can at least split heaven, at least blocks heaven and screens.
Toxins going up.
Just make sure you're aware of ramp when you have a teammate or two pushing that, or they're already like you guys are doing split A. But yeah, very simple, very quick. Same thing with B. B is very simple. You do the same exact smoke for mid, and then you throw this wall. This wall should at least block B heaven near stairway and CT. Beware of that corner right there. You can molly it, or who's ever on top of rafters. If they stay on rafters, or if you do, just go and check it. A setup is simple. I throw this wall down. It blocks off ramp and A main entrance. And then the orb, one way I learned from Brush. It's a little different from his, I think. But pretty much, yeah. I'll zoom in. You aim right there, and you just toss it. It should lodge in. Usually I do it a little bit more differently to where it can hang on the edge, but this one's more consistent. The one I do is usually just kind of like a makeshift one. You just do it on the spot. But yeah, so that's a one way for heaven. And then I throw a wall up for ramp. And I'll transition here and there. This one's also from Brush. I learned like back in the beta, I think it was. This one I think everyone knows, so that one's pretty simple. If not, just slow-mo it. You'll see exactly where to aim. I go into vents, line up, and I line up between that middle second bar on that roof, I guess. And when you throw it, boom. It lines up right there. It's a one-way for mid. This one's very situational, as, you know, people peek mid really fast, but it's, like, fantastic. A, execute, very simple. Everyone knows this. This has been, like, the thing since beta. This smoke, though, this is my smoke I learned. You just aim a little bit to the left of that pole on that, like, darkish bluish area, and you just jump throw. And boom, there you go. Very, 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 very simple. B execute, pretty simple. You throw that wall up for heaven. I'll zoom in for it. And then right here, you just line up with that little corner on the left between the metal plating and the box, and you line up your crosshair a little bit above the roof. That's about it. It's very simple. Like there's this one way that I do that I learned on my own. I used to lodge it in there. I learned it in the beta, but that one's like too annoying sometimes. And I feel like it's not as good. If you throw it this one, blocks off way more. Way more. Way more. If you're an enemy, you're not really going to see anything. It's going to be kind of hard for you, especially if you're holding that. No way they're going to be able to see you. They're going to have to either go deeper back here and try to find you. But, yeah. So that's split. And now we're going to head our way into Icebox. A lot of these things still might not even be that great. I've tested some of this. It works. Some of them work in game. Some of them I kind of like learned on the spot because I was actually curious. I actually waited till this map came out to learn things on this map. And so for mid, I kind of just throw a wall down straight mid. I like to try to take control of mid as much as I can. You just wall that down and it takes control. It stops them from going tube. You should also molly tube entrance so they can't push out. Unless your team is pushing out, then don't do that. But yeah, that's mid. You can also throw an orb. For B, I throw this wall right here. It also helps mid. I throw that wall down. And then you can also molly. You molly right here. You can molly 2 of the entrances. Pretty much blocks out both entrances. And even if you want to decide to do something like that, obviously right here is not like realistic. You wouldn't be this close to do that. But you could also just push up into this cubby. Very risky. I wouldn't suggest doing this, but if a team isn't rushing that, you can. Here's an orb I learned. It's kind of like in a sense of one way. It's kind of cool. You just get right next to that corner. That's all you gotta do. Get right next to the corner, throw it, or you could just jump and throw it up there. You don't need to have actually a certain angle. Just throw it up there. Completely blocks off left side if people like to rush that. Orb on A, you guys have seen me do this on stream a lot. I just throw it here and I sit in the smoke. A lot of times I do this, whether it's with a shorty, whether it's with a phantom, a sheriff, whatever it may be. I've done that multiple times. You guys have seen me do it. Yeah, so there's that. And then here's a wall I've done. And you can also, like with this, you can also move your wall any way you want with this. It just depends on how aggressive you want to be and how much you want to push out. If you want to push it a little bit further back, it can help you in the aggression. Only thing I will say, though, is beware of top. Like, if they're up there in heaven, or I guess, I don't know what they call that, but heaven, you're going to get screwed over. A Execute, very simple. Throw that wall. It's a very simple wall. You just throw it right across. And right here, you aim up, and you aim a little to the right of that top, like, little edging. And it should smoke off that, I guess, rope area. Or A, heaven. I don't know what people call that. And yeah, that's A Execute. Very simple. Here's a little mid to A Execute and a mid to B Execute I have found. So you go into this corner and you spawn, and you jump on top of that box and you lodge yourself in that corner. And this is to smoke that broiler, is what they call it. And you use that little left click, that arrow that we used earlier on bind. You use that same little arrow and you jump throw. And you also can preset this wall as long as it blocks off tube and bottom tube. When you do that, you have a mid to A Execute perfectly. Now mid to B, very simple. Just throw your wall like this. I'll zoom in on it. Throw your wall there and you put yourself in the bottom of this corner. Make sure you're behind the box, like on the bottom. You're not on top of the box. And you want to put that line right under 100, like right between the dot, and you just jump throw. And this allows you to go mid to B perfectly. Obviously, there's a lot of angles on this map. You could throw that wall a little closer if you choose to. A lot of angles on this map, but it cuts out as much as possible. And yeah, so there's that. Icebox is very simple. That's just what I know so far for Icebox. And yeah, okay, we'll go to the next map. So Haven, I'm only gonna go over my main setups and smokes that I use. A, very simple. You guys have seen me do this on stream about 1,000,000 times. You just line up with this box, you walk backwards, you walk a little bit forward, you right click. Boom, you're able to get that orb back. It's a very simple setup for a one way, but it's one of the best one ways. And then you throw a wall for long. I have 2 C setups, but this is one of them. You don't gotta line up, you just put it there. You could throw it before the wall goes down. You can throw both of these down before the wall. You can set up really fast with this one. You just line up with that corner on the edge, and you just throw it, it bounces off. Very simple. It's probably my favorite setup on Haven. This one right here is pretty simple as well. You just look up, throw it, boom. You have a one-way for garage now, and then you can throw your wall for long. Very simple. Both of these work perfectly. You can just see what works for you and see what you like. But yeah, very simple. This one way, I mean, this heaven right here, this heaven orb lineup is amazing. I'm so glad I found this one. You aim, you put yourself in this corner, you aim at the light bulb, and you jump throw. Very simple. It should land right on the little window seal. And then, boom, you pop the smoke. And there you go. And for this one way, you just get in the corner right here. And you look between the lines on the light bulb, and you just crouch and left click. And when you throw it, it should create a one-way for you. That's all you gotta do. I'll make sure to zoom in so you guys can exactly see the pixels. I put all the settings on low, by the way, so there's that. For Haven Retake, you guys know I usually just put my wall across for short and for long. So there's that one. But if you want to use your orb, there's this one. You aim a little bit under this light bulb to the left on that second string, and then there. And you aim your molly a little bit under that light bulb on the edge of that wall. And there you go.
Poison orb emitting.
I start with Cat. I've got this one way from Brush. I'm not sure if he does it exactly this way, but I think he does it a little bit different, but I got inspired by Brush to do this one, so there's that one. And then you can also throw your wall here, and you can hold Cat in A. Obviously, you want to hold Cat, but throwing that wall there will help your teammate for A. Here's an A Retake I do. Whenever I'm playing on CT, and I need to come and take site, obviously, help my team, throw that wall there. It helps, really simple. Here's an A Execute. So for the orb, you line up 3 lines over from the left, and you aim a little bit under the cloud on the left side, like not too far to the left. And you aim right there, and you just jump throw. And you aim your wall enough to where it's going to block door and heaven, and it's not going to block the edge. Like it's gonna leave that open, that corner open for the switch. And yeah, that's an A Execute right there. Perfect. For B Execute, you aim that corner of the right click and you aim it to that big little, like that big huge metal thing, and you just jump and you jump throw. And there you go. You have a market smoke in this wall. It's dependable. Make sure you communicate with your teammates on where you guys exactly want it. If you want to smoke CT with it only, or do you want to smoke stairs with it as well? Mainly, I just do CT like that. And there you go. That's usually how I do that. So that's a B Execute for you. Now, here's the best one way for B. I think this is like the only one you want to try to shoot for, is getting it on this lamp. It's insane. I usually sit right here at switch, and they usually can't see if you're behind that boat. So if you're holding B, this is like literally the best one way to do. Reason being as well, holds off a huge angle. It's a lot lower than the one that you can do on the ledge, and you can get it back. So yeah, that's Ascent for you guys. That is the guide. I love you guys. For anyone that's watched the whole thing, I appreciate you so much. And yeah, so if you guys do want to see the rest of those certain things I didn't get to put in here because the video is getting too long, I can make a video for that. Or at least not a full video, but I'll put it in certain ones. Like let's say if one of my videos is mainly Ascent heavy, I'll throw some Ascent stuff that I use. And yeah, so if you guys do want that, let me know. And love you guys. Peace. Expect another upload on Monday. And expect to stream probably after this video is up. All right. Love you guys. Peace.